Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Good Feeling Life. I'm Talia. I am just posting really short and sweet today. I'm in my car waiting for a yoga class and feeling just absolutely high vibe, absolutely excited on life. And I really wanted to share a little bit of, I don't know, wisdom? What do you call it? Guidance. So I really want to help you navigate things in life. So whether it's huge decisions, whether it's do I talk to them about this, or do I ask for the raise, or do I go on the trip, or what should I do today? No matter what the decisions are, I want to offer a piece of insight as to what can be your guiding force. How do you know if you're making the right decisions or decisions that are in your highest good? Sometimes it feels unclear. Sometimes it's hard to know what decisions to make. Like I said, if it's just what we're doing today, or should I call this person, or should I go on a date with this person, or, we have lots of decisions in a day and in our life. Hey, Melissa. Hey. So today I just wanted to offer a piece of wisdom on how you can best guide yourself, whether it's what you're going to eat, or where you're going to go for lunch, or, like I said, the trip you're going to go on. If you should go for yoga today, if you should hang out with this person tonight, what movie to watch, all of that. And it's so very simple. And once you understand this, it will help everything. So you know that I talk a lot about the law of attraction and about the universe. And what that is to me is the energy that grows the trees, the energy that grows your fingernails, that is pulling everything. The funny little coincidences that happen in our lives, that there's a universal force going on, right? Beyond us. And when we tap into that universal force, everything becomes a lot easier. That's when, I talk to you guys about this and I say it's half magic and half logic. And life seems to get super freaking magical once we learn how to tap in to this universe and start thinking the way that the universe thinks, start going with its guidance and receiving, right? So how do we do that? The biggest gift, this is such it's an amazing one. And I always go, good one, universe, good one. But the way that the universe is trying to guide you in what to do, big or small, all those examples that I used, it goes from massive, should I have this surgery, to small, what should I eat for lunch today? The way that it's guiding you is through your emotions, and your feelings. So how this works in your everyday life and how you can start to get in flow with the universe now is think, what feels good? Like literally that's all that it is. And people right at this point, their egos have a bit of a problem with it because the ego is the part of us that wants to control things, wants to make sure everything's safe and calculated, and we're not going to fail, we're not going to risk anything. So that's the ego. So when we say go on what feels good, the ego has a hard time with that. And I understand that. It's hard to, most people would say, how can you just go with what feels good? I got to go to work, I got to do this. Sometimes life doesn't always feel good. And I beg to differ. When our mindset is in the place of accepting what is, going with what is, we learn to make everything more or less feel good. And how I'm going to paint it with something like work, it would feel better to not go to work today, or I don't want to go to work. How can I just do what feels good? Not going to work, all of a sudden not showing up, leaving your boss stranded, leaving your coworker stranded, everyone being like, what the heck happened to her? That actually wouldn't feel good because that's not integrity with your highest self. But if you hate your job, starting to look for new job options may feel good. That may feel better than staying in the job that you don't like. So I want you to get really honest. And if you catch yourself going, I can't just do what feels good, say why? Why can't you just do what feels good? So one example is with eating, with food. If you're saying I'm going to get healthier and then you find yourself with some chocolate or with a cake or a bag of chips, what is the best way to deal with that? How do we stay in good feeling thoughts? Because the universe is showing you what feels good or showing you what the path is to your highest life, your manifested wealthy, healthy, happy life. It's showing you that by your emotions. So if you find yourself with a bag of chips and you start saying, oh, I have no willpower, I'm never going to do this. See, it's hard. I don't have what it takes. That feels shitty. But if you sit there and you go, you know what? I'm just going to eat this chocolate and I'm going to enjoy every morsel of it. Doesn't that feel better? If you were to say, I'm going to own this. I'm going to a birthday party or I'm going to a potluck and I'm going to have the crab dip or I'm going to have, cheese on crackers and I'm going to own it. Does that not feel good? It feels a hell of a lot better than sitting there going, oh, I'm so weak. I'm never going to do this. I'm always going to be overweight or whatever it is that you're dealing with. You can apply that to anything. If you're saying you want to save more money and then you find yourself out buying a new winter coat, instead of saying, see, I'm horrible with money, because that feels bad. If you follow that thought and go, I'm horrible with money and I'll never do this, and see, every time I say I'm going to save, I never do it. Oh, what's wrong with me? That feels crappy. If you had a friend following you around telling you that stuff, it's just going to lead to more binge spending or drinking or eating or whatever it is that, your vice that you go through. You're going to have to start coping, because that voice in your head going, see, you're awful at selling, or not selling, that too. If you have a business and you think you're awful at selling, but you're awful at this, you're awful at saving, that is going to feel very, very crappy. But if you go, you know what? Okay, I'm going to own this. I'm going to buy the coat that lights me up. I'm going to feel badass and abundant that I can afford this coat. And you just start thinking like that. And that doesn't mean that every day you're going to go out and buy expensive stuff when you should be saving and gloss it over like some good feeling thing. Because pretty soon your highest self is going to go, okay, reel it in. We do still want to save. Buying things to the point where we don't have food to eat or we can't pay our rent or our mortgage. That doesn't feel good either. So try not to let the ego have the front seat and say, you can't just do what feels good, and go, I beg to differ. I'm going to turn this chocolate into a good feeling experience. I'm going to take this spending into a good feeling experience. So another example is if you have opportunities or you're going traveling, think, what feels best? If I see myself in Italy, does that feel best? Or if I see myself in Hawaii, like what feels best right now? And you could say, any of those things, I want to go anywhere. But when you start looking, maybe Bangkok will feel better than Hawaii will, because you want to go more for culture, or you want to go, you've never been to Asia, or, you'll always be able to find something that feels slightly better. And this is the biggest tidbit of all. This is something that when you let it sink in, it changes your life. As soon as you're in a good feeling thought, you're thinking the way that Source thinks. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, ugh, and you start feeling awful, look at your body, look at this, look at that, whatever it is, that feels awful. That means you are not thinking like Source thinks. But when you look at yourself and go, you know what? I'm always getting better. And yes, I still have goals, but my eyes are incredible. Or look at my outfit today. I look awesome. Or I've got a quirky sense of style. Like I'm going to just be me. That is a better feeling thought. That means that you're starting to think about your body the way that Source thinks about your body. So when we can tap into those good feeling things, if you order the fettuccine Alfredo and you start getting all down on yourself, think, no, what's the best feeling thought that I can think right now? Can I own this decision? Can I enjoy the food? Can I feel every bite and enjoy every moment? And then enjoy the next meal, enjoy the next meal. Pretty soon, because you're not talking so much crap to yourself, you start making healthier choices. And you start making, oh, you're so welcome, Melissa. Thank you for saying that you needed this today. That just fuels my fire. That's a good feeling thought. So owning what it is you're doing. It doesn't mean you always have to order the green salad, or you'll only start talking nice to yourself once you lose the weight, or once you have a successful business, or once you make money. That's another thing, is if you're in a business, if you have your own business or whatever you're doing for money, and you think, oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I'm this age. I should have it together by now. I should own a house, or I should have the savings. That is a crappy feeling thought, friend. That does not feel good. But when you go, you know what? I'm going to start making abundance goals. I'm going to look into manifesting. I'm going to, look into maybe a better paying job and ask for a raise. And I am doing a good job. I am doing a great job. I'm doing the best with what I have. And if I'm unsatisfied, I can change it. I can look for new jobs. I can find a way. That is a better feeling thought. Now you're thinking like Source thinks, which taps you into abundance, taps you into funny little coincidences that end up being exactly what you need, taps you into everything that you could possibly want. So I have health goals as like I'm super healthy, but it doesn't mean that I don't have goals of wanting to be a little bit leaner, a little bit stronger, upper body strength. So the other day I had a freaking talk with the universe and I was like, okay, I'm not into restricting my food. I'm not into rigorous dieting. I'm not into working out 5 days a week or 7 days a week because I have to. I'm not into any of that because it doesn't feel good. So universe, how am I going to reach my goals? How am I going to continue to get leaner and stronger and healthier each and every day? And I heard this nudge go, yoga. And I thought, of course, yoga's the thing I do anyways. Yoga's the thing that nurtures my mind, body, and soul, and is the way that I'm going. For me, some people it's running, some people it's bodybuilding, some people it's tennis or badminton or weightlifting or whatever, right? But for me, yoga is like a life. It's a lifestyle. It's a mind, body, soul. Of course, yoga's my way. So I heard, okay, so what do I do? And this is the way my intuition works. I just have conversations and I can hear the guidance, and you'll get there too, or maybe you're already there. And I heard just yoga more committed. And that doesn't mean 7 days a week for an hour each day. That means even if one day I can only get in 7 minutes, I'm committed. So I'll do those 7 minutes because I know that yoga's my way. So I was having this conversation, ironically, on the way to a yoga class in my car with Source. Pardon me. And I pulled up to the yoga class and I went in, and it ended up being, I thought it was 60 minutes. It ended up being 75 minutes and a really difficult yet balanced flow. And the teacher was talking all about self-love and honoring yourself and doing what feels good. And I was laying there going, this is definitely the yoga class I needed to be in line with my health goals. Like, this is it. And then I got home, and my husband's like, I'm going to do a short yoga. Do you want to join me? So a bunch of hours later, I did just like a mini yoga. And I thought, this is my way. Like, thank you, universe, for lining up yoga twice in a day and for getting me present to, like, of course that's my way. I don't need to go on some crazy diet. I don't need to have some crazy workout routine that I hate. Yoga is my way. Of course it's my way. So I just wanted to share that with you, that that's a better feeling thought to me than doing something I hate or pushing myself in some way that doesn't feel good, or going low carb or fasting beyond what would naturally feel good. I don't want to do that stuff. I spent years in an eating disorder. I am not into it. It's not my happy place. So that's what I wanted to share with you today is pay attention to your thoughts and your emotions. And the second you come across a thought that feels good, that means you're thinking like Source thinks, and that means you're clicked into the universe right there, and nothing more needs to be done. So if you look yourself in the mirror and you think, ugh, that you're not thinking the way Source thinks. Source thinks you're beautiful and perfect. And even if you have health goals, Source still thinks you're perfect as you are right now. And yes, you can still reach those health goals. So if you take a second to look at yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? I am strong. I have a body that has bared children or has gotten me through all these years of life. I have limbs that work. I'm healthy. I'm excited by that. And there's always room to get healthier. Instantly, it's like, oh, and that's a better feeling thought. And that's thinking like Source thinks. And as long as you stay in line with that as much as you can, you don't have to be perfect, but as long as you stay in line with that, doors will open. The yoga class will come about that is exactly the class you need for that goal you have, or whatever it is, whatever's important to you, whatever's going on. That's just my personal example of something going on now. So time to go to my yoga class. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. If you have any questions, post them below. I'll be checking in. Love ya. Bye.